Jungkook. Within just 2 days of participating in NYFW as a Calvin Klein icon, Jungkook managed to dominate media coverage, ignite discussions across social platforms, and ultimately earn recognition as the most popular K-pop artist in the United States. This phenomenon did not arise from mere coincidence or fleeting hype. It reflected a structured mix of global brand strategy, audience anticipation, and the singer's ability to bridge cultural divides in a uniquely powerful way. When Jungkook attended NYFW, his presence was not that of a guest, it was that of a brand-defining star. His integration into Calvin Klein's strategic vision meant that his appearance carried more significance than any other celebrity cameo. For 2 days, he became the embodiment of the brand's image, and in doing so, positioned himself at the forefront of American cultural visibility. One of the reasons Jungkook's short stay in New York produced such measurable impact lies in the structure of NYFW itself. Unlike smaller fashion events, NYFW operates as a global media multiplier. Coverage from the runway does not stay confined to the fashion industry. It extends into mainstream news outlets, entertainment platforms, and social media trends. In this environment, any celebrity appearance is amplified into global headlines. When Jungkook walked into the Calvin Klein venue, multiple elements aligned. The international press anticipated his arrival, resulting in instant photographic coverage. Social media users, particularly his global fan base, transformed those images into viral content within minutes. Fashion journalists highlighted his role as the centerpiece of Calvin Klein's campaign, giving his presence a formal acknowledgement in the industry narrative. This multiplier effect explains why Jungkook's 2 days in New York equated to weeks of visibility for other artists. Every angle, from professional photographs to short fan-recorded clips, became part of a larger digital archive that flooded American timelines. The US audience plays a crucial role in converting celebrity appearances into long-term recognition. In Jungkook's case, the reception was both immediate and widespread. Data from trending lists on platforms such as Twitter, X, TikTok, and Instagram confirmed that his name dominated US-based discussions during NYFW. In parallel, entertainment-focused outlets like Billboard, Variety, and Vogue highlighted his participation, positioning him not as a peripheral K-pop guest, but as one of the central figures of the Fashion Week cycle. American audiences perceived Jungkook differently from other international artists for several reasons. First, his English-language songs, including Seven and Standing Next to You, had already secured strong chart placements in the United States. Second, his collaborations with American producers and artists gave him credibility beyond the label of foreign idol. As a result, when he entered NYFW, the audience did not interpret him as an outsider. They viewed him as a relevant pop star who seamlessly fit into the US cultural ecosystem. The label of most popular K-pop artist in America was not simply an honorary title given by fans, it was supported by measurable data. During the 2-day NYFW event, Jungkook topped Google Trends searches within the US in categories related to both fashion and music. On TikTok, hashtags linked to his NYFW appearance gathered millions of views in less than 24 hours. Major media outlets ranked him among the most discussed celebrities of the entire Fashion Week, placing him alongside household American names. This convergence of quantitative metrics solidified his status. Unlike other K-pop artists who may enjoy niche recognition, Jungkook's performance at NYFW created a mainstream presence validated by American cultural gatekeepers. The timing was critical. By combining his existing popularity with the visibility of Fashion Week, he secured the kind of recognition that shifts perception from international star to American cultural figure. The fact that Jungkook needed only 2 days to achieve this level of impact illustrates the efficiency of modern celebrity cycles. In today's media environment, length of presence is less important than density of visibility. For Jungkook, every minute of his appearance was captured and redistributed globally. His interactions with other celebrities, designers, and the media created micro-moments that audiences repeatedly shared. The alignment of Fashion Week's global media infrastructure with his existing digital fan networks ensured that nothing went unnoticed. In this sense, the brevity of his stay intensified the coverage. Audiences treated his 2-day schedule as rare, exclusive, and therefore more valuable. The scarcity of his physical presence paradoxically enhanced the magnitude of his digital visibility. Jungkook's recognition as the most popular K-pop artist in America also reflects broader dynamics in the industry. While BTS had long established the presence of Korean artists in the US, Jungkook's solo trajectory demonstrates the potential of individual stars to achieve mainstream cultural relevance. His NYFW success sets a precedent. Fashion and music can intersect in ways that amplify K-pop's influence beyond the stage. For other Korean idols, this raises the bar for international expansion. The model is no longer limited to performing concerts or appearing on talk shows. It now includes becoming central figures in US-based cultural industries such as fashion. Jungkook's success illustrates that the American market rewards those who integrate across sectors, thereby establishing deeper cultural imprints. Instead of presenting him as a niche K-pop figure, the brand framed him as an international icon who speaks to diverse audiences. The visuals in Calvin Klein campaigns emphasized universality, minimalist designs, neutral tones, and sharp contrasts that highlighted Jungkook's presence without confining him to a regional identity. This strategy prepared the American market to view him not as a Korean idol, but as a Calvin Klein ambassador on par with any US-based celebrity. At NYFW, this positioning paid off. His arrival was not perceived as a guest appearance, but as a flagship moment for the brand. Media headlines framed him as one of the faces of Calvin Klein, placing him alongside established Hollywood names. This alignment allowed Jungkook to bypass the common challenge faced by international stars in the US, being categorized as outsiders, and instead positioned him within the cultural core. Another critical factor in Jungkook's dominance was the principle of scarcity. Unlike celebrities who maintain constant visibility in the American entertainment cycle, Jungkook's appearances in the US remain selective and limited. His attendance at NYFW was therefore an event in itself, magnified by the fact that it spanned only 2 days. Scarcity generates heightened anticipation. Fans traveled to New York, queued outside venues, and mobilized online communities to capture every angle of his presence. The exclusivity of the moment made each photograph, video, or article more valuable. Media outlets capitalized on this by publishing coverage that emphasized the rare nature of his visit, framing him as someone whose presence could not be taken for granted. This scarcity-driven strategy contrasts with the overexposure that sometimes diminishes the impact of other celebrities. For Jungkook, limited appearances created a sense of urgency in American audiences, compelling them to pay attention to every available detail. The effect was a rapid and concentrated burst of visibility that cemented his dominance during Fashion Week. The role of American media in shaping Jungkook's popularity cannot be overstated. Coverage from outlets like Vogue, Harper's Bazaar, Billboard, and Variety framed him as a key highlight of NYFW. The narratives built around his presence reinforced three central themes: global recognition. Articles emphasized his role as an international star whose influence extends beyond music into fashion and lifestyle. By situating him within a broader cultural framework, these narratives expanded his relevance to American audiences unfamiliar with K-pop. Fashion Integration Media reports highlighted how naturally Jungkook fit into Calvin Klein's aesthetic. Instead of portraying him as an outsider invited into the fashion world, they described him as someone who elevated the event with his presence. Cultural milestone. Several outlets framed his appearance as evidence of K-pop's continued expansion into American mainstream culture. By linking Jungkook's success to larger industry trends, they elevated his role from individual celebrity to cultural representative. Together, these narratives constructed a coherent storyline. Jungkook was not merely attending NYFW, he was reshaping the way K-pop integrates into American cultural life. The structural success of Jungkook's NYFW appearance was amplified by his fanbase, particularly within the US market. Unlike traditional celebrity coverage, where media outlets dominate the narrative, Jungkook's visibility relied on a two-way system: mainstream press coverage on one side and fan-driven amplification on the other. In the days surrounding NYFW, hashtags linked to Jungkook consistently trended across Twitter, X, in the United States. TikTok users generated short clips from the event that accumulated millions of views within hours. Instagram and YouTube creators produced content that extended the reach of official media coverage. What distinguished his fandom's efforts was not just volume but precision. Fans targeted US audiences by using English-language tags, collaborating with fashion-focused communities, and ensuring that Jungkook's visibility expanded beyond the existing K-pop circle. This grassroots amplification mirrored marketing strategies typically employed by professional PR teams, further accelerating his recognition. NYFW often includes multiple international celebrities, including other K-pop idols. However, Jungkook's dominance can be explained by how his participation differed from that of his peers. While other artists attended as invited guests or brand collaborators, Jungkook's role was more central. His positioning with Calvin Klein placed him at the forefront of the brand's showcase, while others often appeared as secondary figures in brand-sponsored events. Media attention reflected this hierarchy. Coverage of Jungkook often outpaced that of other K-pop attendees, both in terms of volume and prominence. This differentiation is important because it illustrates that Jungkook's title as America's most popular K-pop star was not merely symbolic. It was a reflection of how he outperformed peers in measurable visibility, both in mainstream media and social platforms. Timing also played a decisive role. Jungkook's NYFW appearance coincided with a cultural moment in the US, where fashion and music intersected heavily in media discourse. Post-pandemic shifts had revitalized interest in live events, while the American music industry was experiencing renewed curiosity about global influences. Entering this environment, Jungkook's presence at NYFW captured attention at the intersection of two high-demand industries. Fashion outlets benefited from his celebrity appeal, while music outlets contextualized his role within his broader career. This overlap ensured that his coverage was not limited to one niche, but spread across multiple cultural sectors. Although Jungkook's NYFW stay lasted only 2 days, its implications extend far beyond the event itself. By securing the title of the most popular K-pop artist in the US, he established a foundation for long-term cultural relevance. This recognition has potential consequences in multiple areas. Music industry integration. American labels and producers may increase efforts to collaborate with him, viewing his NYFW visibility as proof of his marketability. Fashion industry partnerships. His central role in Calvin Klein may encourage other brands to pursue similar collaborations, extending his influence into lifestyle and luxury sectors. Media recognition. Once an artist is acknowledged as a mainstream cultural figure, coverage of their future activities becomes more frequent and widespread, creating a cycle of visibility. This trajectory suggests that Jungkook's brief stay in New York was not an isolated event, but a milestone that reshapes his future interactions with the US market. Another angle worth analyzing is cultural hybridity, the ability to bridge multiple cultural contexts simultaneously. Jungkook's appeal in the US stems from his ability to embody both Korean and global sensibilities. His work as a K-pop idol connects him to Korean cultural exports, while his English-language music and Western-style branding make him accessible to American audiences. At NYFW, this hybridity became visible. He was celebrated as a Korean artist, yet seamlessly integrated into an American fashion institution. This balance allowed him to appeal to US audiences without requiring them to view him as foreign or distant. Instead, he functioned as both an international and a domestic figure, reinforcing his status as a cultural bridge. Jungkook's two-day dominance at NYFW Calvin Klein was the result of carefully orchestrated strategies, favorable timing, and the synergy of media and fan-driven amplification. Calvin Klein's positioning of him as a global brand figure, the scarcity of his appearances, US, media narratives, fan mobilization, and the broader entertainment cycle all combined to secure his recognition as America's most popular K-pop artist. Far from being a temporary burst of hype, this event reshaped his role in the US market, demonstrating the power of short, concentrated visibility to redefine cultural hierarchies. In the next part, the discussion will expand to examine how social media algorithms, data analytics, and cross-platform engagement reinforced Jungkook's NYFW success, providing measurable proof of his impact.